Hey, we're getting ready to see the Iron Sheik. And how about the Iron Sheik impersonation that Efren did? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh man, Efren can do an Iron Sheik, man. Efren's probably done an Iron Sheik. Hey, the Mean Gene's going to come here and say, ladies and gentlemen, 93,000 fans in attendance. This is his big announcement.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we all are part of history in the making here this afternoon for WrestleMania 3. I have come to the Silver Dome, like you, to be part of this historic date, March the 29th, 1987. Thanks to our millions of fans all around the world, and a special thanks as we have established, all of us, a brand new indoor attendance record of 93,173. Give yourself a big hand.
Wow. 93,173 here in the Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan.
Let's hear it.
History has indeed been made.
Hell of a moment, man.
Yeah.
Even though that was not the real number, it was still a hell of a moment.
Without question.
Thank you for saying that.
I feel like we should also give a little context. What do you think you guys were doing?
In 87?
Yeah.
Good God. We hadn't done the Clash of the Champions yet. That started in 88. We were running, I don't know if the purchase of the Dallas office had that. It was during that year. We were just running, we were running TBS, running the South, running TV in Spartanburg and Greenwood, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina. And they were going out and, we were going to places.
You want me to tell you what you were doing?
Yeah, please.
It's always fun for me to just sort of compare and contrast them, but you guys didn't run a show that day, but you did
this particular day, right?
Yeah, but you did run 2 shows. No, hang on. I was looking at the wrong day. Of course that happens to me now that we're recording.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times we ran double shots on Sundays.
You did run 2 shots.
Mm-hmm.
And here you're in Charlotte and you're in Asheville. One's a matinee. One's not.
It's usually Asheville is usually the matinee usually.
Here's, of course. So Asheville, you're at the Civic Center,
right?
Ricky Lee Jones, Brady Boone, Jimmy Valiant, Colt Steele, Bob Armstrong over Gary Royal, Ron Garvin over the Italian Stallion, who's subbing for Dennis Condrey, Bobby Jaggers and Dutch Mantell over Thunderfoot 1 and 2, who are subbing for the Mod Squad. The United States champion Nikita Koloff, Barry Windham, and Wahoo McDaniel would go over the television champion Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and Lex Luger. Ric Flair would beat Brad Armstrong. Jimmy Jam Garvin would beat Bobby Eaton, and Ole Anderson would beat Big Bubba in a Louisville street fight. That night, you guys cruised up to Charlotte. Tim Horner beat George South. Jimmy Garvin beat Ricky Nelson. Lex and Arn beat Wahoo and Brad Armstrong. Ole defeated the TV champion Tully Blanchard by DQ. Ronnie Garvin beat Bobby Eaton in a lights out match. Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff and Ivan Koloff, would beat Ivan Koloff and Dick Murdoch by disqualification. Ric Flair would beat Barry Windham, which had to be a hell of a match. And then the NWA tag team champions, Rick Rude and Manny Fernandez, would beat Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson in your main event.
Wow. Rude and the Raging Bull tag team champions. Those were 8 matches in Charlotte that day. And that's kind of what they did in house shows. You know, they would run like 5 matches, and then they would have an intermission. Then they would run what they would call a triple main event. Here come the Killer Bees, man. I don't even remember the Killer Bees being in. Weren't they an AWA tag team?
They were in the WWF. Watch your mouth.
I didn't. Well, I guess I remember Brunzell and Greg Gagne. And Brian Blair is Cauliflower Alley guy now, right?
That's right. By the way, you guys ran Detroit a lot later in the year. You ran it September 25th and drew 8,000. You came back on October 18th and you drew 1,000. And then you came back on December 26th. I don't know what you drew there, but it was Road Warrior Hawk winning a bunkhouse stampede match.
Ronnie Garvin won the world title there too, in Detroit that year.
Yeah. In a steel cage, if I believe.
Right. That was right before Starrcade. So that was probably the October show.
No, September 25th. It was your debut at the venue.
Okay.
So when you're there with Ronnie Garvin challenging Ric Flair in a cage match, you draw 8,000. Mm-hmm. You come back a month later with Ronnie Garvin as champion, 1,000 folks.
Mm.
By the way, the next month in October, it would be Flair and Luger taking on Garvin and Dusty in your main event. So it seems like that would draw, right? I mean, Flair and Luger, big names, against Garvin, your champ, and Dusty Rhodes, big name.
Right.
1,000 motherfuckers.
Mm.
Can you imagine how empty Joe Louis looked with 1,000 people there too?
Wow. Oh, good God. It just showed you the difference in the companies. And, you know, you couldn't compete with Vince with a shoestring staff, if I can use that term, or a skeleton staff is what we had. We did not have a media relations person. We did not have a PR person. We didn't. They had me do some things at Jim Crockett Promotions, but they never gave me any guidance on what to do. It was just really run as a small-time operation. No way to compete.
I want to play a little bit of the WrestleMania 3 theme song, the Showcase of the Immortals. Can I do that?
Sure.
Just every now and again, you get kind of pissy.
No.
That ain't it. Fuck them.
That sounds like Alice Cooper.
It's not.
Okay. Meanwhile, the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff against the Killer Bees. Is that Duggan down the floor? Yeah, it's Duggan. This the right one?
Perhaps. You jamming out? Look at all the trash in the ring.
Yeah. It's Aretha, isn't it?
No, I wish.
It's not Aretha Franklin?
Oh, I thought you said a replay.
No, it's Aretha.
No, I thought you were saying this is a replay. I was like, I wish it was over. Just fucking get out of here.
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine if you've sat here for this whole show and you really want to see Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant because your ass cheeks are going dead, but instead you got to sit through the Iron fucking Sheik and the Nikolai Volkoff and the goddamn Killer Bees.
Yeah, it's one of those matches where they should have. Well, you know what? They had to buffer after the Steamboat match. They had to have a little bit of a buffer, so they had 2 matches prior to Hogan and Andre, which, as we now know, Dave Meltzer says a minus 4.5 star match. Has he ever given a match a lower number? A lower rating?
Oh, I'm sure. I think one of those triple cage matches, he gave like negative 37 stars or something.
Yeah. That one match that we had where, they tried to kill Hulkamania. Remember that one? Was that an uncensored?
Yeah.
Yeah, where he fought like 30 guys and
it was uncensored 95.
Yeah, right. We've covered that. That's in the archives.
No, that may have been 96. He gave the Royal Family versus Clowns R Us at Survivor Series 94. He gave that minus 2.5 stars.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the one where
Jerry Lawler was supposed to be in it?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he was in it.
And then the midget chased him around the ring?
You got it.
Right.
Jake Roberts and Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 5 got minus 3 stars. I think he had like an anti-Andre bias.
Well, let me tell you something about the small guys, or the midgets, if you will, chasing Jerry Lawler around the ring. I watched, we were living at 94, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Living here in Georgia, in this house, we watched Survivor Series that night. And my young kids, that's 1994, my young kids loved those midgets chasing Lawler around the ring. They laughed and clapped. That was their favorite part of that whole show. So as much as he may have hated it as a pure wrestling match, kids loved it. I saw the reaction of my kids in that one.
I want to mention that Al Snow and Big Boss Man in a cage at Unforgiven 99 also got negative 3 stars. So did Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe in a evening gown match at King of the Ring 2000. That got minus 3 stars.
Well, yeah, you would give that minus 3 stars, them just walking in the ring.
I like those guys. They're good guys.
Yeah, but an evening gown match?
Finley and Little Bastard versus Boogeyman and Little Boogeyman at No Way Out 07 got minus 3 stars. By the way, we need to watch that on Patreon. Ultimate Warrior Goldust at In Your House 7 got minus 3.5 stars.
Ooh.
Hulk Hogan and Andre here, of course, at WrestleMania 3 was minus 4 stars. Bushwhackers and Fabulous Rougeaus at WrestleMania 5, where the Bushwhackers jacked off one of the Rougeau brothers live on pay-per-view, got minus 4 stars. You remember that when they beat him off?
I was there, but I don't remember that happening.
Junkyard Dog and Moondog Spot on the Wrestling Classic got minus 5 stars.
I can imagine that.
And
wow.
Mr. T and Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 2, minus 5 stars.
Well, there you go. So here we go. Regardless how many stars you want to give it or how many negative stars you want to give it, it's a match that everyone remembers. And I think and even Meltzer brought this up. I even think the standoff, and now they're showing the replay here of what we this tag team match. I think the standoff between Hogan and Andre was one of the bigger moments. To me, it brought it made the match big.